Hi there everyone! If this is the first video on this channel that you're watching, my name is Beck, aka Shinoob. Welcome and I hope you enjoy. So I've just finished watching season 1 of the popular anime Attack on Titan, or Shingeki no Kyojin in Japanese, and I have one or two things to say about it. First and most prominently being, I wasn't a huge fan. I'm sorry, don't hate me. We're all friends here. I'm not sure I see what all the fuss is about. Obviously I can see the appeal in the show and why people would love it as much as they do. But it just didn't grab me right away. It has grown on me since though. But I just don't think it's something I can go crazy over. Before I get started, I'm going to try and keep this as spoiler-free as possible. There are a few events that I want to mention, but I'm not going to spoil any of the major surprises or plot lines in the show. Also, don't post spoilers in the comments unless you use spoiler tags or you will be blocked, and I'm deadly serious about that. Before I get into the review, if you've never seen Attack on Titan, here's a quick summary. More than a century ago, these strange colossal humanoid beings called the Titans appeared and started eating humans for seemingly no reason. They're very difficult to kill, so humanity decided that their only chance of survival was to seal themselves within 50-meter tall walls to keep the Titans out for good. 100 years of relative peace and security pass before the Titans appear again. At this time we meet the main characters of the show, Eren Yeager, Mikasa Ackerman, and Armin Alelt. Also, was it deliberate or is it just coincidence that Eren's last name is pronounced the same way as the German word for prey from the opening title? The three of them are present when an absolutely massive creature called the Colossus Titan appears out of thin air and kicks a hole in the wall, allowing the Titans to overrun the Shiganshina district before vanishing again. In the chaos, Eren's mother is trapped under their collapsed home and is ultimately devoured by a Titan. Eren, Armin, and Mikasa all escape to Wall Rose, and Eren swears revenge against the Titans and promises he will join the army unit known as the Survey Corps, whose main objective is to fight the Titans. Fast forward 5 years and Eren, Mikasa, and Armin are about to finish their training and join the Survey Corps when the Colossus Titan appears again and breaches Wall Rose. Eren tries unsuccessfully to kill the Colossus and ends up joining his comrades in an attempt to save the Trost district, but they ultimately fail and many of them get eaten, including Eren. Wait. They killed the main character in the 5th episode? Seemingly. But it is later discovered that Eren in fact survived being devoured by transforming into a very buff looking Titan with retarded teeth and killing every other Titan in his path before being devoured once again, only to emerge from the Titan unharmed and no longer missing his left arm and leg. After some conflict, Eren recalls that his father may have done this to him, and he was given the key to his old basement which may hold the secrets to defeating the Titans once and for all. Eren then leads a successful mission to seal Wall Rose once again with a giant boulder, marking the first time in history that humanity has recovered ground from the Titans. After a lot of faffing about, eventually Eren, Armin, and Mikasa enlist in the Survey Corps, and together they attempt to save humanity from the Titan Scourge. And now that you're up to speed, this show is so depressing. I know it's appropriate to the subject matter, but seriously, there's only so much sudden character death and general distress I can handle. This ain't Game of Thrones. I'm not actually sure which of the two is worse. I didn't really get time to become attached to any of the secondary characters because they were dropping like flies. And these guys are supposed to be soldiers, trained to kill Titans. Most of them are f***ing useless. I did not see Armin fight a Titan once, not including shooting the eyes out of one so someone else could kill it. He's one of the main characters and he never actually fought a Titan. He just got his ass kicked a lot. Eren's pretty damn useless when he's not in his Titan form as well. But then there's Mikasa, who's just completely a badass and puts everyone else to shame. Except for Levi. God damn, that guy can move. He's like Sonic on speed with those blades. There are a few things that really annoy me about anime, and this show does all of them. Over-exaggerated emotions. Don't get me wrong, the voice acting was great. I watched the show in Japanese with English subtitles, which I know a lot of people don't really like to do, but I find it easy to focus both on the subtitles and what's going on in the show. And I generally find that the Japanese versions are incomparably better. Unless you're Ouran High School Host Club, the English dubs are always just kind of crap. But I always feel like the emotions and expressions are so overdone that it actually takes away from the feel of a moment. I can't really lose myself in the emotion when the characters are just crying and screaming at the top of their lungs constantly. I kind of struggle to take anime seriously because of this constant monologuing. Characters in anime meddle in their thoughts way too much. They literally sit there for minutes at a time and talk to themselves in their heads, and roundabout conversations as well as repeating things a million times. They talk in circles so much it hurts my head. Yes, I know that this is humanity's last hope for defeating the Titans. I heard you the first 22 times. Because they do this, sometimes it can take 3 or 4 episodes before anything actually happens and it's frustrating as hell. Just kill something already! This show did a couple of things that I thought were really weird. Firstly, it changed its opening title sequence halfway through the season. Apparently this is a thing some animes do. And while the animation for the second title was just as good as the first one, the accompanying song was not. Really? It sounds like a German national anthem. I felt like I was being sworn into the Third Reich. Heil Hitler! By the way, the German lines in the opening songs, what up with that? And the other weird thing was episode 13.5. If those of you who've watched it don't remember, it was this one.
Can look back, the will not come back, can be afraid.
The entire episode was 20 minutes of recap. Are you f***ing kidding me? What? Why? The show has wasted entirely too much of my time recapping as it is. Let's be honest, with TV shows and anime, most people aren't watching them from day one. Most of or all of the first season is usually out before it starts to catch on. So we end up watching the whole season in one go. And you're gonna make me sit through 1 to 3 minutes of recap per episode, and then this? Bitch, I just saw all of this. I am up to speed. I know what the heck is going on. I literally just watched it. Having said all of that, this show does have some really great points to it. For example, the soundtrack is phenomenal. Best anime soundtrack I've ever heard. I mean, does that not make you want to jump up and start kicking ass? The music was epic the whole way through the season, and I immediately went and downloaded it because it's amazing. Kudos to the composer Hiroyuki Sawano. Brilliant. The animation and art style is flawless. I really couldn't fault it. The show is visually stunning, and I have to applaud the uniqueness of the Titans as well. Some of them were absolutely frightening, like this guy. And this guy. Terrifying. I would shit my pants if I was Sasha right there. The fight scenes were gorgeously choreographed. The 3D maneuver devices that the characters use to navigate their way around the Titans turns the fight scenes into something really special and unique. Favorite parts of the show were the fight scenes. While the first season really didn't wrap anything up and raised a lot more questions than it answered, I feel like this is a show that the creators want to go for a number of years, so they're not tying up too many of their loose ends just yet, which is smart. I would have liked a more satisfying close to the season though. And can we just talk about the Eren Mika shippers for a second? What is this? Stop. Mikasa was raised by Eren's parents. They are practically siblings. That's disgusting. But God forbid anyone should tell the shippers that, because they take no prisoners. I thought the Wincest shippers were bad, but you guys are crazy. Overall, I thought the show was just a really great anime. I did enjoy most of it, but it got very tedious at times, which anime tends to do. It was something very unique in a world of animes that are all the same, which I appreciated. I don't know if I'll be watching the second season though, just because I don't want to sit through all of that screaming, crying, monologuing, recapping, and devouring for another 25 episodes. I'll probably just watch the exciting parts on YouTube just because I want to know what happens next. If you're an anime lover and you haven't seen Attack on Titan, I thoroughly recommend that you go and watch it because you will probably love it. If anime isn't really your thing, I would recommend staying away because this one's pretty full on. And this has been my review of Attack on Titan. I hope you enjoyed. I went for something different than my other videos on this one, and I put a lot of effort into it, as you can probably see. So I'd really appreciate you clicking on that like button and leaving a comment. Just remember, no spoilers unless you use spoiler tags, and be respectful to one another, please. Also, if you want to see any more of our content, click on one of the videos around me now, or click on that button up there to subscribe. Plus, please let me know if you enjoyed this, and I might do more on other TV shows and animes and maybe video games in the future. That's all for now. I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Just one more time.